Hello. Welcome back. This is Level Up with Louie, Midnight Madness. Some of you out there might be wondering, hey, it's not midnight. Well, I'll tell you what, it's midnight. The middle of the night. Not midnight, but just the middle. Welcome to Midnight Madness. I am Louie of Level Up with Louie and Little Empire. I am here to lead you through some basic Dungeons and Dragons adventuring, but mainly, I want to hang out for a little while. If you can see or hear me out there, please let me know with some sort of comment or question. If you can hear a little bit of tavern talk in the background, let me know. I'm pausing one side of things so I can get over to the other side of things. This is Little Empire Studios, also known as my Wizard Workshop of Wonder. Now look, my nephew is playing Fortnite in the other room. He might be using up the internet. I don't know what sort of catastrophes await us tonight. What sort of delays and misinformations. It doesn't matter. We're here together, just hanging out in my beautiful wizard studio. Oh, what a joy. It took me a while to build this place. It's like Liamon's tiny hut, but it's a little more complicated. Coming through loud and clear. This is Level Up with Louie, and since this is Level Up with Louie, let us enjoy the Level Up with Louie theme song. We do some Dungeons and Dragons in here. Now, look, I know that some of the volumes might be mismatched. Some of the icons popping up on the screens will be crazy tonight. You don't know what's going to happen, mainly because I don't know what's going to happen. This first week of me getting back into streaming, starting with Streams of Adventure weekly streams earlier this week, is getting back my tech side. I go through a lot to set all up this and have all sorts of things going on that somehow I could get most of them done in time for a stream, but not all of them. No one knows what lies ahead, that's right. Can you hear that theme song? Let me know. There could be up to a 30-second delay, so I might be reacting into your comments a little slower or quicker than we're having real time here. I will improve that latency at some point, but now is not that point. Now is the time. Oh my goodness. That theme song was written by Michael Brommery, a friend and a great musical composer. He did a lot of work. I'll be doing this a lot. This is me adjusting my ear and pushing my earpiece back in. I'm trying to keep track of a little bit of the volume going on. This is Level Up with Louie, Midnight Madness, where we learn and hang out and do a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons together. Sounds like a naughty Christmas elf theme song. Alright. I'm not in charge. Right now we're in a Hobbit tavern. Maybe you can hear that in the background a little bit. I thought I paused this. I said pause on this side. There we go. Jammin'. We be jammin' is what people say sometimes. In the future or the past. We be jammin'. You might notice all these lights going on behind me here. I cast light. It's a cantrip for me, which means it's a low-level spell. It's something minor. In Dungeons and Dragons, you got some wizards. You got some fireball casting, magical mayhem wizards. You have some rogues, which are hiding in the shadows. You have fighters, classic. Knights in shining armor, a barbarian, a ranger. You have clerics, holy, pulling down the magic of their gods to heal their friends, or make sanctuary to protect against demons and monsters. Clerics are always cool because they can also turn undead. So if you have a whole horde of skeletons approaching you, a cleric can hold up a magical symbol and turn them back to the earth. Now this is a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons. This is the magic of D&D. And I know there are a few of you out there watching me right now on the Facebook. Some of you are tuning in. You're great. Lunatic Halfling Berserkers with a wisdom score of 1. This is a fun party already. So we're getting things started here. This is again my first stream of getting back to Midnight Madness. I've been looking forward to this for a while, but I thought I needed to upgrade some of the things going on with Midnight. One, I upgraded where I am in this studio. I changed my positioning. This is my shelf of many things up here. Here is a ram skull from the booth next to me at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. Come visit me this fall at the Maryland Renaissance Festival. This is just a little basic D&D. We're getting it started. I am going to be moving fully over to YouTube at some point, and I might be double streaming down onto Facebook. I don't know how to do everything, but I'm going to be mainly going over YouTube. That's the place I consume most of my video media, and that's the place I'm going to produce most of my video media. You might be wondering, hey, Louie, what is Dungeons and Dragons? Well, let me have a sip of this, and I'll tell you. CRF, yes. The Carolina Renaissance Festival. I will be there as well. Things have changed up a little bit. I did retire from London Broil, so that does change where I live in North Carolina and how I'm set up, and I don't have a booth there or a workshop, so it's a small madness to actually get ready for North Carolina, because I'll also be in Maryland, running both at the same time. Whoa, I multiply myself and drive 400 miles during the week, back and forth. It's a commuter-heavy fall for me. You don't have to worry about commuting, because you are already here. So, Dungeons and Dragons. I know some of you have played before, but again, this is a beginning, a test. I want to create a space for people who are new to Dungeons and Dragons, who have never played before, can show up and kind of get a feel for what Dungeons and Dragons is. I want to give them a taste for what it could be. I want to give you a little bit of the rules and regulations and some of the vibe of D&D, so if you want to go play, you can show up with a little bit of something in your head, or if you want to just hang out with me here on Fridays, this is where I'm going to be doing the streaming of Midnight Madness. We're almost 15 minutes in. At 15 minutes in, we got to get this adventure started. And 2, I had to turn off the air conditioner in this room for the sound. It's getting hot in here. I have to keep these clothes on legally, or I'm not allowed to stream on Facebook. Dungeons and Dragons. CRF, baby. CRF! First of all, I kind of just like hanging out some. So you might be like, all right, my dopamine hit. I'm used to short TikToks now. I'm used to YouTube shorts. Please keep pumping the angles, keep pumping the information. Make it happen, Louie. Make it happen. What's going on? I'm trying to be dynamic here. Making it happen. But sit down, relax, put me on in the background. Maybe you have an AirPod in, and you're just listening in the distance to this going on. This is not where you pop in and get a hit, dopamine hit, and you pop out. We're gonna hang out for a minute. We're gonna do a little. The real reason I'm moving to YouTube. You can do anything on YouTube as long as you label it not for everyone or not for kids. You can do anything. You can be explicit. But that's not why I'm doing it. I just want to be on one place. One time I'm going to drop the Twitch. I'm going to drop this Facebook. I just want to be on one place so everything is in one spot for everybody to get to. And then maybe I can grow from there and post on other places. But again, I like YouTube. I'm a premium member. I recommend it. No commercials. Dungeons and Dragons, you say. What is it? How do we play? There are dice involved. As we all know, in Dungeons and Dragons, you have these wonderful dice called polyhedrals. Wonderful, wonderful. A halfling cleric reporting for duty. In Dungeons and Dragons, let's go down to the paper. In Dungeons and Dragons, you have some polyhedral dice. And you are telling a story with friends. When certain events happen in the story, you will roll some of these dice to help determine what's happening in the story. This right here is called a 20-sided die. Then we have the 12. Two different types of 10. 8. 6. The classic dice we all know and love. 6-sided Yahtzee. And a 4-sided die. Most of the time in Dungeons and Dragons, you will be using... Hold on. Most of the time in Dungeons and Dragons, you will be using the 20-sided die for attack rolls and ability checks. What do you mean, attack rolls and ability checks? You're going to roll this 20-sided die and hope to get... Let's see if this dice cam works. You're going to be rolling this 20-sided die. Again, this is like... I'm going to watch this video back later and be like, oh, you can't see those dice. I built a whole structure today that holds a webcam that has a lens inside of it, a lens bookmark, and then that actually looks down at this dice tower. Well, where did that dice go? There it is. You can't see them as well as when I'm rolling here. But again, we're working on it. Not everything works the first time I level up with Louie. We all know that. Dungeons, Dragons. You're an adventurer in the world. A fantasy realm. You might be an elf or a dwarf. A wizard, a rogue, barbarian. You might be an artificer and you can learn how to make things like small creatures or a gun even. You might just be a line cook that got caught up in things and you have your meat cleaver and a side of chicken ready to go. But you are going to be rolling the 20-sided die a lot. Anytime you make an attack, anytime you try to leap over a chasm or possibly cast a spell, you're going to most likely be rolling your D20. You're rolling against another number. That makes sense, right? You're not just going to roll the dice and be like, 17, that means I blurgle blaggle. No. You roll against something. If you are rolling against with an attack, if you're rolling an... I know we're jumping right into it. If you're rolling an attack, you're going to roll the D20 dice, and you're going to try to get over the armor class of an opponent. If you are rolling to see if you can break a door or pick a lock or listen or see if somebody's lying to you, you're going to roll against a difficulty check, a DC. So AC or DC. Yes, blurgablagle is a technical term. Thank you. Hola, Mary. Hello, welcome. Y'all are making my heart shine. How big can this get? Again, this is just the beginning of level Louie. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm trying to get some of this action here and figure it out. So if you have any feedback for me and be like, hey, this was wacky, this didn't work, or this did work extra well, let me know. I want to grow this so every time somebody comes to my booth at the Renaissance Festival and like, I want to learn D&D, but I don't have anybody to play with, or I've always been interested in Dungeons and Dragons, I just don't know anything about it. I want to have a Friday night game that people can tap into right before the festival weekend. So I can mention like, hey, go out to the Colorado Renaissance Festival, where the London Broil and Dead Bob are performing this weekend. Hey, there's a New York Fairy Festival going on. There's the West Virginia Festival. I want to have it like a Friday night vibe where I mention all the wonderful Renaissance festivals and my friends around the country. We kind of check in before you might be heading off to the Renaissance Festival, and people can learn some Dungeons and Dragons. And I really dig it when you all know each other. Joseph, hello! This is a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons. When you are doing an action, you roll a D20 dice. Roll that D20 dice. Ah, we have so many of them. You get a number. Let's see. Nine. If you are going against a creature that has an armor class higher than 9, you won't hit them with your weapon. If you are trying to pick a lock and the difficulty check is 15, a 9 will not do it. That makes sense, right? For example, if you, buttons. An orc might have an armor class of 13, so you're going to roll that dice, and I just rolled a 20 naturally. I hit that armor class. I got over 20. That's how that works. An armor class is the protection somebody has. You, as a character, will have an armor class as well. All your opponents will have an armor class. So you're rolling that 20-sided die against their armor class, and you might add some bonuses. If you're really strong and you're using your battle axe, you might add a +3 or a +5. Now to pick a lock, the DC of 15, or jump a creek, an athletics check. Again, you're going to roll the dice, and the dice are part of the storytelling of Dungeons and Dragons. We could just be sitting around shooting the ship. A nat 1. Oh no. That's why the dice gel goes in. Roll that beautiful dice footage, exactly. Yes, modifiers. You have modifiers. So you might add a +3 or a +5 to your roll because you are good at a certain skill, or you're really strong, or you are practiced in the art of deception. So when it's getting wonderfully summer sweaty here. So as this goes on, you'll just see my hair start to fall and the beads of sweat percolate upon my face. To percolate. To percolation. Man, I'm not sure about any butt modifiers. That's kind of a personal choice. So we get the idea of rolling a D20. The D20 is going to move the story along. The Dungeon Master, who I am in this case, will be the narrator of the story and presenting the plot points and the challenges and the non-player characters that you, as the players, will be interacting with. Now, say you cast a fireball spell, or magic missile, or you are swinging with a great axe, or stabbing with a dagger. Most likely, you're going to be doing damage to an opponent, right? Sorry, I said right. I don't like that lingual trick. Yes, D20. Thank you, Jay. D20 is the showrunner. Yes, I'm wearing eyeliner, Mary. You gotta make your eyes pop on stream, okay? I'm a wizard now. Louie the juggler can't wear eyeliner. Louie the wizard can do whatever he wants. So, you're gonna be rolling these D20s to see what's going on. Like, you might be a player who was up against this orc over here. Here, let's go to the action cam. Let's see if we can see the action cam. Action cam? Action cam. Oh, maybe I have to do this. Hold on. There we go. I don't have all the buttons hooked up, okay? This wizard here... Let's do this fighter. This fighter is going to run up to this goblin and try to hit him with his sword. Let's drop that sweet dice footage. That's a 12. I will work on improving this dice tower in the dice roller. I really wanted a live dice in there off to the side. But that is a 12, as you can see there. I just moved it over. He hits this goblin. Now, when he hits this goblin... at some point I had a small laptop cam over here as well. Oh, I think it's below this. Hold on, hold on. Now can you see me? Maybe, maybe not. There we are. Hello. Again, tonight is thank you for being here. This is a little bit of working out all the magic to make this happen. Yes, but yes, the dice cam works. We'll get there. It'll all improve. I can't wait to put a picture up in my Discord. Pardon me. I cast prestidigitation, which makes a noise happen. Right, it's fun to have a dice cam. It is. I need to zoom in on it. I don't know if you can read the number on that dice. I doubt you can read any of these numbers. But this is a process, again. Like, this is an actual level up with Louie. This is a Little Empire dice castle right here that I have off to the side. And I can't wait to show you. I'll send a picture on Discord of the device I built just this morning and then cut on my Glowforge to hold a webcam with a Fresnel lens in front of it so that it could zoom in on these dice. But hey, that's stories for another time. And I'm jumping around tonight fine. Very Billy Joe Armstrong. I like pulling the look together. That's important to me, you know. We're a little bit of sassy purple. That's nice. Again, in the future, I'll be on YouTube, so look for me there. I will mention it on multiple places. Instagram, Facebook, Level Up with Louie, and my page. So, after you hit with an axe or something, you might be doing some damage. And depending on what type of weapon you use, you're going to be doing different types of damage. Like, a dagger is a D4. Oh, I haven't tried the dice cam on top of D4. A mace might be a D6. Different type of dice. Right, we went over some of these. Everybody's confused, like, oh, all these dice in Dungeons and Dragons, I don't even know, what are you doing? Here it is again, very simply. Almost everything you do in Dungeons and Dragons is going to be based on the D20. Also known as a... I think a icosahedron? No. I can't read that. You can read that. Oh, Mary, thanks. We'll get that growing again. So you're going to roll a damage if you... Here, I can show you some of these damage types here. So, if you have a hammer or a dagger, which is right here, hammer or dagger in this area, 1d4, not a lot of damage. If you have a mace or a spear, 1d6. A battle axe, a longbow, or a longsword, 1d8. Halberd or glaive, 1d10. And then this great axe right here. That's 1d12. That's a lot of damage. Kelly, hello, welcome. Good to have all of you here. Classic adventurers here with me. Thanks for being here in the beginning. What happens if we grow this to 1,000 people? Is that a madness? I'd like to get there. I would love to have 100 people showing up on a Friday night. Cayman the Ranger, exactly. Welcome back, Cayman. Rachel, hello, welcome. Again, there is a delay on what I see on the screen and my getting back to you. So we have to figure that out. I think eventually if I get stronger computers, a little better streaming devices, we should be able to make this more workable. Alright. We've spent the first half an hour here just getting to know each other and talking a little bit about what dungeons and how the dice work in Dungeons and Dragons. So, now, I guess we should... Icosahedron. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I believe the dodecahedron is the 12-sided dice. There's the tetrahedron, which is the 4. And then the 10-sided isn't a hedron. It's something a little crazier. Nobody knows, Kelly. Here's what it is. My glasses just leave a shadow on my eye area. Usually I wear my glasses up here because they hurt the ears. And they're a little crooked because my ears are offset. My parents said that when I came out, my head was football shaped. I guess I should have been a sport. Yes. Yeah, these are beautiful D20 arm brand. K&R Armory. They are in North Carolina and Arizona. A cool guy named Shannon created these. And his son, the breakfast on Mondays at Renaissance Festivals, there's something called Bazaar where we all hang out. We have some breakfast and we sell goods to each other and we catch up about the weekend. His son was selling these bracelets, so I bought a few of them. His son is making leather too. His son was maybe 12 or so. 10 to 12 in that zone. And I was like, oh, Shannon, I love your gauntlets. Of course I am buying bracelets from your son. Yeah, no, they just leave a little weird shadow on your eyes. Or it's eyeliner. I will be wearing eyeliner at Renaissance Festivals pretty much from now until the end. I'm a wizard. There have been rumors lately. I don't know if you've heard any of these. But there have been rumors lately in the small farming village that you grew up in. There have been rumors lately that farm equipment is going missing. A wizard can have armor sometimes. They just can't cast all of their spells, or they have what's known as disadvantage if they cast some spells with armor. I believe. I don't know all the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, but I know enough to cause a little trouble. one of you want to jump in and give me some of the shout outs. I believe a wizard can wear different armors. They just have disadvantage on some of the actions they do. Yes, and sometimes just like all Dungeons and Dragons and all fantasy themed things, the actual visual representation and the stats are not equivalent. We all know there are some beautiful ladies dressed in skimpy armor that have the same armor class as a knight in plate mail. And that is just the way it is. There have been rumors lately that farm equipment has been going missing. There's a couple goats that are gone. There we go. Oh, 4th edition. Sweet. Hold on. I might sneeze. I didn't. Yeah, there's some different ways. At some point in the... At some point in Dungeons and Dragons, some of the rules change up on people. Anyway, you as adventurers, you need to head off into the world and get some business done. Now look, I created this very simple, very straightforward character sheet. Rules lawyer. This is available on the Little Empire website. It's a free download. You just put in your email and put in some things and click on download. It won't charge. It doesn't ask for a card. It's free. You'll just be able to download it as a PDF and print this out. And this is like my super simplified version of a Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing character sheet. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Those are known as your stats. And again, I'm doing a lot of explaining of D&D tonight, and I'm sorry. I know we wanted to adventure. So if you are sick of me showing you this sort of stuff and kind of just bouncing around getting this started, please jump in and say, Louie, I want to kill some goblins. Name who you are and what you do, or your class and your race, possibly. Your armor class. If you're wearing plate mail or something heavy, that might be 16, 18, 20. If you're just wearing normal clothes, that's about a 10. So if a goblin was trying to hit you, they would roll a 20-sided dice, and if you're just wearing normal clothes, if they get over a 10, they hit you. Or 4. They're not hitting you. Okay. Anyway, this basic character sheet, you get some weapons, you got some loot, you got some skills and magic. We'll get into this in the future. It's the dark of night. All of you have been sitting out for quite some time in Farmer Jacob's fields, not waiting for the great pumpkin, but waiting to see if you could come across these goblins that have been terrorizing the local farmers. Kara, thank you. Off in the distance, you hear a small rustle in the woods. If somebody wants to make me a perception check, you might be able to pick up on the exact location or what it could be. Now, when you go to make a perception check, you're going to roll a 20-sided dice. And in my head, I have an idea of about the number you are trying to get over. We're going to need at least, a 17. You see 2 small ears pop up in the near distance and go back and forth. Almost like the cat ears when they're listening. You notice them maybe 30 feet away. And then across the way, another one of you notices more small ears popping up. It looks like goblins in the farmer's field. Sub-basement level. You do notice they've shown up. You aren't quite with a 17, which is good, a good roll. You notice there are possibly more than there are us, is what you notice. You're not alone. What you picked up on, that perception check, and this is where the story starts to get told together, where these rolls allow me as the dungeon master to craft a little bit of the story to what your rolls are revealing. A 17 is a good roll. I was thinking that 10 to 15 was all that was needed, but a 17 is over there. So, you're picking up that there are more goblins than there are friends in this field right now. Would you like to stealthily approach these goblins or declare combat time? You as a group can let me know. But they are here. I didn't set up the action cam button, but here they are. There we go. You as an adventuring party. Look at this little guy. That's one of you, a barbarian, wizard, rogue. On the edge of the field, the clearing. Who moved my pencil, huh? Who's in charge of pencils around here? You are on the edge of the forest. It's amazing how old our hands look at some point. A dirty 20. Alright, these little guys, don't flee. Yes, you might be outnumbered, but there are 5 of you. On the edge of the clearing, though, you've definitely noticed more than 5 goblins. They have been stealing from the local farmers. They have been taking small goats, and all the farmers are in uproar. They have heard that goblins sometimes steal children in the night. Jay, with a natural dirty 20, right? Tisk, tisk, tisk. You do pick up on that these goblins are not just all little scraggly fighters. Some of these goblins seem to be a little more, I don't know, put together than other goblins you've seen. This is my first Ticonderoga. Literally, it's written right here. This is my first one. Nice cam. There we go. Adventurers, here you are, in the edge of the woods, a group of goblins. Let's roll for initiative. In Dungeons and Dragons, when you're about to enter into some combat, you roll for initiative. It's pretty simple. You roll that d20 die, and whoever has the highest number, plus their initiative bonus possibly, gets to go first. Right now, these goblins have a 12, and they're going to come streaming in to attack all of us. They are not fans. A 5. Yes, all right. Great, great. That means you will be going a little later in the initiative. That is true. But look, Annie, 7, yes. Here's the thing, though. Sometimes going later in the initiative is okay. I personally like going... I like my party... I like to be the tail end of the party in my initiative order. So I can kind of see what happened during that combat round and then clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up. It's good to have your party balance go in the beginning, in the end. A 3. Oh, good rolls, everybody. Solid rolls. This is Dungeons and Dragons Level Up with Louie. We are about to fight some goblins. The action cam button is not set. This is the party of adventurers that we are. We're moving into combat. The goblins are going to move first, and this little guy here, known as El Butcho. Come on, El Butcho, get into your stand. He moves up close and is going to roll. Oh, here we go. Action cam. There we go. Dice cam. Things get delayed here sometimes. This goblin is going to roll to hit one of you. And that roll is a 10. This goblin does have +3 on the roll, so a 13. If you are wearing just regular clothes, you just got hit by a goblin. If you are wearing a little bit of armor, you're safe. I don't know what you left the house in today, but this goblin did attack you and is going to do 3 points of damage. On average, most of us right now have about 12 hit points. Hit points are your lifeblood in a way. You have, let's say right now, most of us have about 12 total. We just got 3 taken off. 12, that leaves 7, 4, 2, that leaves 9 hit points left. If you get 9, okay, great. Some of you didn't get hit. Good on you. No, it's great to say so on your armor class. You get to do what you want here at Level Up with Louie. And again, this is night 1. This oddly, honestly, this is like I'm so glad you're all here. This is good, but my mind is just getting settled in on what this can be again and how we can develop this. Good. A 15. Good, good, good. You're not hit by that goblin. If somebody could give me an attack roll, we're going to try to attack one of these goblins here. Action cam. Do it, action cam. You hear that action cam music? One of you will attack this goblin that just ran up. As more goblins start to move in on that nice initiative they got, they move a little closer. You know next round they're going to fully engage. A 14 is a hit. If you have a big, bad weapon, you could roll a d12 for damage. If you have a smaller weapon, a dagger, or you just picked up a kitchen knife on the way out the door, you're going to roll a d4, 1 through 4 damage. If you... A battle axe two-handed? No, that's a 12 for sure, Kara. That's a good... You want to use that frog mace? Yeah, get that in there. Two-handed battle axe. You would roll a d12. And then you would add to that a 7. I don't know if I need the dice cam if I can do the paper cam, right? We can all read that. I want to get that dice cam going just as good. That's a 5. You see it's getting sweaty in here? Isn't that fun? I'm locked in an escape room. 17 points if I add 7. Oh, jeez. Chain shirt. That's beautiful. AC 16. Oh, yes. This is... Yeah. Oh, that beautiful mug of finesse. This first goblin goes down. And you see him there? Knocked over. Your initiative was a 2. Yeah, you're going to go a little later. A couple of these goblins are coming in to attack. A 15. That hits one of you because they do have a little bit of a bonus. Oh, man. A 20. That means one of these goblins is doing double damage. The first goblin does 4 points of damage. The next one does 8 points of damage. One of you took a little dangerous hit there. That's for sure. Ow, 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 ow. But we can fight them back. We can get those hoes back from these goblins. Ah, Kara, this is beautiful. Thanks for that Google Doc. We're going to grow on this. We're going to grow on this. It takes a little bit of work, everybody. I want to say I'm doing my best. But honestly, I'm holding it together. And it is a joy to be here with all of you. Oh, believe me, this sort of stuff is going to be my bread and butter for a little while. This is where I'm going to be. We're going to hang out together in the world. Healing word. Yeah, you took some damage, but the healing word cast by Annie... Whoever took that damage with that 15 hit is going to heal back up a little bit. And this 20, whoever took that damage with that 20. And again, we're playing a little super loosey-goosey with this Dungeons & Dragons. This is the... I'm just getting a feel for all the equipment again. I don't have a full story laid out, but I knew I wanted to use my goblin tokens. And so here we are. Getting back into it. These goblins had a treasure chest with them. Oh, focus. Focus. There we go. They also have a little fire pit, which is fun. Oh, berserk. Going berserk. Nice. A chalice of greater resistance. Great. Well, let's say these goblins did do a little bit of damage to the party. Maybe one of the party members that we don't even know, that's just a lurker right now. There's a lurker out there for sure. Cheers to the lurkers. Cheers to all of you. one of our party members did drop because of that. The healing word helps somebody. I have, here's the thing. I don't have goblin tins anymore. I have goblin bags. The tins were crazy to make. It's great. You grabbed a bag from the website. Oh my goodness. I will send you a bonus, Annie. I don't know what it is yet, but it's exciting. I am just getting the Little Empire website started up again. All this is going to integrate. And again, I'm sorry I'm kind of not 100% adventure fully prepared right now. But you guys are so helpful in getting me back up and into the game. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around for a couple years now. Kind of keeping me honest and making me keep back to this. Pow, pow, pow! Adventure music. I can hear it. Oh, don't press that button, dude. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why did I unpause over here? There's a lot going on my screen. One day I'll have a supercomputer powered by artificial intelligence helping me along with this. Alright, friends. It's time to attack the goblins. If you want to roll an attack for me as well, please let me know what sort of attack you're doing. Some of you might be magic casters. Some of you might be berserk mode. So you're going to do a little extra damage. You're going to have advantage. Look at these guys. We got one of us down, one of the goblins down. But we have a goblin here, and there's only 4 of our characters left standing. I know there might be more or less of us, and we'll figure out the way to play this the right way. Oh, cure wounds. Nice. That's how the healer comes in. Alright, anybody want to make an attack? We got 2 goblins up in close melee combat. They're snarling. That farm equipment is ours. We owned these lands before these farmers were ever here. What gives you the right to come and take our land? We were here before the moon rose. Everything here is ours. You're here just as our guests. Dagger, 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 dagger. Yeah, get that tall goblin. I keep hitting that action button knowing it's not working. So there's a device I use called the Stream Deck. I don't know if you can see this. You see that a little bit? So that's the music playing. Here's the different scenes I can jump to. Ooh. But I can't jump to this action cam because you know, right up until the last minute getting started, I was setting up these devices and setting up everything. A 3 does not hit. I am sorry, Hillary. A 3 does not hit. You're going to need a 13 to hit one of these goblins right now. But there was a good swing. It was a good solid swing. Like everybody was like, "Oh, nice swing." All right, we're at 11 o'clock. This has been an hour. We're going to just go a little bit more till we defeat these goblins and get some treasure. And then I'm going to call it. This, again, is Level Up with Louie Friday nights. Learning some Dungeons and Dragons. Me getting my feet wet again. You guys showing up as good, wonderful people. I will be streaming next week. $11 doesn't quite hit. We're going to need a 13 to hit these goblins. These goblins are getting in here. Get it to... Come on, guys. Oh, just bouncing around. Goblins. Look at this. This guy's coming for you next. I have names for all of these goblins, and in a few days, weeks, I will be putting up I have stats for them. I have a whole thing going on, and I have names. They're all adorable. A 13. Yeah, so 13 hits. Roll for some damage. Yeah. And then a couple of these goblins are going to attack as well. I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4 20-sided dice as these goblins move in. 1, 2, 3. This one is shooting with a bow. Focus. Focus. The thing about focus is you got to find the focus meter. Yeah. Come on, little focus. Come on, little guy. Focus. Yeah, that carrot definitely hits. He's shooting from a range. Here are 4 dice. I know your armor classes are pretty good, but these, they get damage. Unadjusted 11 knocks out another one of these goblins for sure. We have 1. We have a treasure chest over here. 1. This goblin looks a little strange to you, and you see him start chanting in the distance as these 1, 2, 3. Well, this guy already fell down in an attack. I know the delay is making things a little funky here for sure as well. So I'm reacting to what you're doing, but that goblin's already fallen down. We're going to figure out some of these things into the future. This is not a real Dungeons and Dragons. This is getting the feel for what it could be, the flavor. We're going to grow. But 4 of them are attacking you. Here is a 15, an 18. That definitely hits somebody in the party. And we can 15 plus 3. Here is a 2. That is a miss. A 10, 11, 12, 13. That could be hitting somebody. And this one changed, so I'll re-roll. Oh, friends. I'm sorry to say, but that's a nat 20. Again. These goblins are good. So that's double damage. One of these goblins did 4 points of damage. One of these goblins did 6 points of damage. At this point, a couple of us are taking some hits. We're starting to feel hurt. This is how combat goes. Ebbs and flows a little bit. Player characters moving around the board. Maybe one of us advances up towards this goblin with a bow. The rest of us are here engaged in combat with these goblins moving in. If you're a rogue, you get a little something called sneak attack sometimes. And if one of your buddies is engaging a goblin, you can do double damage. Alright. Yes. The spellcaster finally gets done mumbling some words. And you see an arc of blue lightning extend from his hand and come careening down the battlefield, bouncing off this dead goblin and frying it like a hot dog in an electric heater from the 70s, bouncing into this rogue and then splitting off into this fighter. That rogue and that fighter both take 7 points of damage with a lightning bolt coming out from that mage. This is back and forth, friends. I hope you're prepared to die for your community. You hear some farmers in the background yelling, "Give it to him! Come on! You can save us!" Our healing spells are running out. The potions. Oh, let's see if I can show up a potion. Possibly we have a healing potion with us. So somebody can glug down that healing potion. Okay. Mary, you can engage with that spellcasting goblin. Moving up to that. So we have a player on the spellcasting goblin. If you want to give me a hit. Can I do this? 17. I'm going to throw Duncan's salsa. Yes! Yes. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Yes, throw that bee salsa, I believe. Yes. Yes. Alright. Mary will go up to engage that, and there's also a swarm of bees. There is a swarm of bees as well, preventing that spellcaster from currently getting off another spell as Mary comes up to attack it. Oh, these nasty goblins. That swarm of bees is preventing that spellcaster from casting right now. Just swatting, pushing. Oh, great use of salsa. We have somebody attacking the spellcaster. We have somebody attacking the ranged fighter. And we have a couple people coming in on these goblins. 2 right there. 3 of our players are attacking these 2 goblins here. And this goblin is guarding the treasure chest. Good, Kara, you've moved up and you're throwing your javelin. Yes, throw it at that goblin. As a couple other look, we're bouncing back and forth with the initiative. We're just playing it. It's happening. A couple goblins here are attacking the players. Another 20. These goblins are vicious today. Look at that. This is serious. These goblins are not messing around. Another one of our players falls. That could be a death. A 19 to hit. A 17 plus 19. Yes. 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 The javelin. The hits. Jay. Mary. Kara. Yes. You are knocking out these 2 goblins. The spellcaster and the ranged goblin. Taking them to the ground. Stop stealing our goats. Please, stop stealing our goats. There are 1, 2, 3 goblins left on the field. There are 4 players in action. One of the goblins. Please, please. We didn't mean to. Traegor was just very uppity one night, and he just wanted to steal a goat. I'm sorry, this isn't even our land. We moved in from the north of Faerun. Our bad, our bad. And he starts backing up slowly, telling the others, come on, we got to get out of here. They're too much for us. And this little guy, action cam, come back. This little guy just wants to defend the treasure. Backing up a little bit. They are getting a little worried about you. You are more powerful. Oh, blabbering goblin. Alright. Yeah, you knock out that blabbering goblin. Again, you might not be killing all of them, but you're at least knocking them out. In Dungeons & Dragons, you don't have to kill everything. However you want to create this story is our story. The Dungeon Master, the players are telling a story together. But you are routing these goblins. These last 2 are guarding the treasure chest. As the rest are cleared away, you're moving in. They have knocked out at least one of your players, and a couple more are damaged. Like, it's not looking great for everybody. There are a couple of you who are just crawling over to try to get these goblins. Yeah, a miss. A couple more. These 2 are, as we're closing in, are starting to attack. 2 last goblins. A 16 and a 6. A 16 does some damage to one of our players. Only 2 though, so we're still standing. At this point, we all start with 12 to 20 hit points. Please, please, if you let us go, you can have our treasure. Please, no. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Down to 2 hit points. You're in rough shape. One more hit. But these goblins are starting to surrender. Hey, 11-11. I appreciate you being here. This is Midnight Madness. I don't even know what this will become. Hopefully we get bigger, longer, deeper Dungeons and Dragons, but at the same time, it's gonna be very like this, basic, surface, bouncing around. The idea of D&D. I want to make it accessible for anybody who wants to jump in and play. And if they go on to another campaign and other Dungeon Masters, they feel like they have enough in their head to be like, I get what this is. I know how to play this. I can tell a story and roll some dice. You do get death saves here. A death save in Dungeons and Dragons is if you roll a 1 to 10 on a d20, you get an X. If you roll an 11 to 20, you get a check. Every round of combat, if you get 3 X's, you dead. If you get 3 checks, you just survive and you're just laying on the ground unconscious, possibly. Alright. Mary possibly is going to let some of these goblins go. One of these goblins is going to pretend to walk away, but then turn around and throw a dagger. That probably stuck somebody for 2 points of damage. Yeah, one of them starts to run, runs away. The other one throws that dagger as it's running. And if you all want to take a last shot at that evading goblin. Okay, yeah, rescind your mercy. These are bad goblins. Sometimes there's good goblins, and I don't want to say all goblins are bad. Sometimes there are good goblins. Yeah, alright. Yeah, do some attack rolls. Hillary, no. You can roll, somebody can sustain you after, we'll throw out a potion. We'll throw in a healing potion. There it is. Make a couple more attacks, friends. From a distance, you might be throwing a dagger, shooting a bow. Oh, yeah, sorry, Kara. Yeah, not all goblins are bad. These ones right now, these ones are bad. But I created these goblins, this whole set of goblins. I made a whole set of goblins, and again, I'm statting them up. I wanted them to be adventurers and goblins. Alright. I'm going to roll for a player or two here as well. Let's see what we get. A 20 from the player. Oh, well done, whoever you were, anonymous player in the background. You just did 10 points of damage to this goblin that was running away, and it falls down. The cleric amongst the group starts to pray to its deity. A healing light descends from the heavens and raises up the fallen players, just barely hanging on. A calm descends upon the farm field as you realize the goblin threat has been dealt with. The bodies of the dead goblins lie around you. You notice a symbol hanging from their necklace. A claw with dragon wings on it. What does this mean? Who are these goblins with? Yes, that attack of opportunity, Mary. From a distance, you throw a strong dagger. And it hits that running goblin. No goblin in this field made it out today. Why were they here? Who sent them? What sort of trouble lies in the future? Goblins. Dragons. Dungeons! Where will the adventure take us? Mostly here on Friday nights. If you are near a Renaissance festival, make sure you get out to it. Colorado starts tomorrow. Doesn't start, it's going on tomorrow. If you want to go see a great juggling act, go see the London Broil show on the Fortune stage. It's so fun to be able to say, go see the London Broil show. And I'm not even in it anymore. They're doing great. And you, adventurers, are doing great. You get a little bit of treasure. That's right, there it is. In that sweet pile of treasure, you find, first of all, that symbol around their necklace. On the necklace of the goblins. We'll have to come back to that. A claw with dragon wings. And yes, we did spare the dying. Any of the adventuring party that was fallen during this catastrophe of the goblin farm field attack gets back up. They're hurt. They're going to be in recovery for a little while. That's one thing they don't talk about in Dungeons and Dragons much. The weeks and months of recovery that has to happen if you don't have a healing potion or a cleric nearby. Or even if you're revived. Come on. Cult of the Flying Fork. This is the sort of magic that we're going to be creating here. Good. My pictures are still up on Colorado. Beautiful. They'll get around to adding a lot in there. They'll work it out. But I can't wait for all the people who show up and are like, where's Louie? That's fun too. Oh man, it's so neat to see. When I was in Texas this year, in Arizona I saw London Broil. I went to the show. And then in Texas, I went to their show. And last show of the day, I got up and juggled with the London Broil, dressed as my wizard self. But at the last show of the day, I hung out with London Broil and juggled with them a little bit. It was perfect. I loved it. They do not give a flying fork. Yes, take a long rest. In Dungeons and Dragons, after some combat, after some adventuring, your party needs to rest sometimes. A short rest is just a little cat nap, and you heal some hit points, and you get some of your powers back. A long rest is setting up your tent, rolling out the bedroll, getting some deep sleep. If you're an elf, maybe just meditating. And then you get a lot of your powers back and most of all of your hit points back. Yay! Oh, this is so fun. Oh, I can't wait. Meet up, guys. Meet up and go to the Renaissance together. Mary, is that what you're saying? You're going to Colorado? Oh, that's so fun. Treasure. It's good. You get 100 gold pieces to split amongst you, which is enough for a good meal or two and a night's sleep in the local inn. You find a small, strange whistle in the treasure chest. with some sort of engraved face upon it. There is also a yellow vial, a potion, if you will, in the chest. And we'll come back to that later. A potion, a whistle, in 100 gold pieces. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Oh my goodness. A whistle that blows. Yeah, it does. But who's to say what it summons? Thank you, Kara. Whoop. Hey. Hi. Thank you for being here. That was about an hour and a half of Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you had a good time. I did. I appreciate the familiar faces. Alright, I won't tell Matt. It's a surprise. I love it. Oh, you're gonna love him. Elan is so good. Oh, it's what a joy it was for me to watch the London Royal show and give him a mighty huzzah. Huh. I'm sorry. Thank you. Again, this was just the beginning of where we're gonna get. I'm not sure. I know we're close, but I want to make this a little more real and have some growth to the channel and growth to this Dungeons and Dragons night. We're getting there. Thank you for being here on the journey. Thank you for liking the Facebook post, going to the shop, making all the magic happen. If you want to download one of those character sheets, they're up at Little Empire. I could probably copy and paste some of that. You know where it all lives. But mostly, thanks for being here. Yes. That would be great, Hillary. Thank you all. It has been a wonderful evening. Exactly what I needed here. Thank you. It's great to be back and doing this. I feel like I have a sense of purpose doing these. I want to grow my business of Little Empire, and I want to grow the business of Level Up with Louie. Mostly, though, I want to grow a connection with good people and let you know you're appreciated and loved. It's been a wonderful evening. We all got things to do tomorrow. And I will see you in the future. Thank you. Good night.